Hey Westland, my name is James Webster.
And I'm Zoe Lizzie, and this is the November Breakdown.
Thanksgiving is a time to gather with friends and family as well as eat delicious food. Kylie Zeman hits the streets to find out students' favorite dishes.
Hey Westland, my name's Kylie Zeman, and today we are finding out what everybody's favorite Thanksgiving meals are. What are all of you guys' names? I'm Riley.
Hudson. Ridge.
And what is your favorite Thanksgiving dish? I like apple pie.
Mashed potatoes. Mac and cheese.
Thank you guys. Okay, what is your name?
My name is Alyssa Samuel.
And then what is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Mashed potatoes and gravy.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what is your name?
My name is Mason Blattner.
And what is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
My favorite Thanksgiving food is my grandma's fire mashed potatoes.
Oh, yum. What's in those mashed potatoes?
She will slit my throat if I tell you.
Okay. Can I get you guys to tell me your name?
Tyson Smith. Daniel Hodge.
And what's your guys' favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Stuffing. Stuffings.
What about stuffing is super good?
Texture. Feeling.
Thank you guys.
Yeah.
The question is, what is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Probably mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes, those are good.
Yeah.
Thank you. What is your name?
Diane.
And what's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Turkey, stuffing, and cranberries.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
All right.
Those all sound delicious. Ever wonder what it's like to be in PhotoOne? Here's Lily Frazier with the story.
I think if you want a unique experience of something different that most people don't usually sort of go into, but also something that's just relaxing and fun and artsy and it kind of brings out your creative side, then photography would be for you.
I've always been interested in photography. I have my own DSLR camera that I've always wanted to learn how to use. We've mostly learned like structurally wise how to take photos, you know, like rule of thirds and different ways to lay out your photos so that it can like end up looking the best.
So we've learned just sort of the basics behind any camera, like a phone, whether that's a phone camera, a digital camera, or like an analog camera, so the ones that use film, and how they work and sort of the history behind that. So like kind of when they were invented or when they started being used. We're turning little film canisters into cameras by poking a hole in them and then putting a piece of electrical tape over them and using that as a shutter. And then actually using a type of paper that sort of acts like a film inside and then lifting the shutter really fast, and then that will imprint on the paper, and then we have to develop it with a film developer, and so we're going in the black room and developing the paper.
I think that it can actually teach you quite a lot because composition-wise, it teaches you how to plan, how to lay out your photos, and really think about it. And it's also a lot of fun because you get to go outside pretty much every day, take photos, play around with it. I like to think of it as like a different kind of artwork. And I like getting to see everyone's perceptions and like how they view each image that's taken, and what they choose to think about or do when they take the photo of.
If you want to find out how to add PhotoOne to your schedule, talk to your counselor.
As football season comes to close, Meg Duvall brings us an update on the playoffs.
Hi, Westland High School. My name is Meg Duvall. Today, I'm talking to football players about playoffs. Say and spell your name.
I'm Earl Ingle, Earlingle.
Bear Brendan, Barret, Brundage.
Ryan Vandenbrink, Ryan Vandenbrink.
Okay, tell me about playoffs so far. Do you have any highlights?
Yeah, so playoffs so far have been good. Obviously, we've gotten 2 wins in a row now, so we're kind of on a roll. Hopefully that continues this week. But yeah, a personal highlight for me is obviously I play defense, so I've had a couple big tackles and some big moments, and that always gets me hyped up. So those are good fun.
We'll definitely be coming back after being injured in the first game of the playoffs and returning for that at just QB so far though. And if we win, then we will see Mike play defense again.
Who on the team has been the most underrated player this year?
I'd say one of the hardest workers and one of the best players I know that doesn't get enough love. I think is Jordy Tawa.
I think Ben Windham, my other middle backer.
Zeke Bukula, he's been making some huge plays for us lately.
I think he's been a real influential person on the team and someone that you can really look up to, and he can be a real leader.
I think he's probably one of the best defensive backs in our state, and he's very overlooked.
What do you think are keys to the team's success so far?
So far, I think we've really grown as a family. Like I went from not knowing basically any of the seniors on the team, or most of the juniors as well, to really becoming good friends and becoming a family with them, and that's gotten us closer. When we start working more as a team, and then even in the huddle during the games, it's tighter and it feels more connected.
What are keys to the team's success going forward?
Going forward would definitely be knowing our strengths and our weaknesses and trying to exploit our strengths.
We need to keep up our defense, because our defense is probably the strongest aspect in our game.
On defensive side of the ball, we've been pretty locked down, and just making sure that we continue to do that.
What does having fans at the stadium mean to you?
It means a lot. I mean, it takes our whole mojo and everything like that, and you have a crowd behind you once you do something good, and then you pop up and everyone's crowd is cheering for you, and it feels really good, and it motivates the guys.
And lastly, does the team have any goals set for playoffs, and if so, what are they?
Hold teams down defensively. We shouldn't let anybody score over 14 points. Obviously, we all want to win state, but we just got to take it one game at a time and make sure we pull out through a win every week.
Thanks for that, Meg. Hey, James, have you ever seen the movie Dune?
Yes, actually, I have. The cinematography is pretty awesome. Next is more on the movie Dune.
The original Dune movie is a strange experience. In excess in exposition, plot holes, strange audio choices, these are all common issues brought up about the film. However, if there's anything that it does best, that would be the cinematography. The set design is one of the most fascinating things about the movie. Those working on the film revealed that the team began to build the sets before the script was even finished. Each room is packed full of tiny detail, and in general, the set design is an almost dreamlike quality. Most of the practical effects too are top-notch. One in particular, which looks incredible, is the spice worms. These manage to capture the scale of the monsters perfectly. Despite the practical effects being on point, the digital visual effects fumble the bag a little. The shield effect is possibly the most bizarre looking. The scene where they're introduced becomes an unclear mess because of it. While the film has its fair share of problems, visually, for the most part, it's pretty stunning. This is James Webster reporting for WLHS Now.
I can't wait to watch. Up next, Luke Ewert on the traffic problems in front of the high school.
Hello Westland, my name is Luke Ewert. Traffic, bus delays, and COVID concerns have fueled frustrations. Recently, traffic has increased around the high school, making it a challenge to get to school on time. More parents have been driving their kids to school for the concern over COVID and the timeliness of buses. This means less students riding the bus. The increase of parents driving kids to school has developed an increase in the amount of traffic in front of the school. With school starting at 8:30, most buses are rolling in around 8:20, while some buses are pulling in as late as 8:35. Because of this, there have been an increase in the number of announcements in the morning excusing late arrivals. Another issue is students not paying attention to buses. The foot traffic in the bus lane delays the drop-off of students. The flow of students using crosswalks is also added to the driving mess, delaying the flow of cars. One student a couple weeks ago was struck by a car after school. The student was walking across the crosswalk as a car was driving by, and the driver was not paying attention. While in this case the student was clearly not at fault, there have been instances where students neglect to pay attention. The student was found okay with just a few bruises. The Westland bus provider, First Student, said the concern over COVID has created delays for the buses. Many concerns have been raised about all of these issues. Some suggest crossing guards to allow groups of students to cross the street, letting foot and car traffic flow seamlessly down Broadway. A more involved solution would be for a traffic firm to conduct a formal study, which would involve an understanding of why foot and car traffic has fueled frustrations. In the meantime, expect delays, traffic, and be prepared to look for both ways. Reporting for WLHS Now, I am Luke Ewert.
Kaylin Kem brings us Westland's weather update.
Football in the rain changed the team's game plan to stay safe from injury. They focus on running and protecting the ball more at practices, which also prepares them for game situations. When it started raining at last Friday's football game, our Lions beat South Salem 55-9. The round of heavy rain on Friday brought flooding, rock slides, and landslides to multiple areas. Several state parks in Oregon remain closed at least through the weekend. The November rain inspires young artists and writers, such as its beautiful drops on plants. A danger we face due to the November rain is driving. It is important to stay alert to prevent from hydroplaning.
That's all for this edition of The Breakdown. Make sure to follow us on social media for now at WLHS Now.
Reporting for WLHS Now, I'm Zoe Lizey.
And I'm James Webster. And this was The Breakdown.